Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lulu Marie, but you can call me Lulu. Welcome to another episode of Slasher Slaying Sunday. Today I have for you a very weird, chilling story of a murderous grandma. Well, I don't know if she was a grandma, but she was 90 years old when she was convicted of murdering possibly over 150 people with her magic water. Insane story. Like, please keep watching. I have never heard of this woman. She was apparently a witch, possibly, or she was just like a hater of human beings, of mankind, and just wanted to kill as many people as possible through her chemistry and her witchcraftery. So yes, if that is something that you are interested in, keep watching. Before that, I want to inform you guys about my giveaway. I'm going to be giving away, you guys probably have heard about this giveaway every single time, and in my last video you actually can see some of the products that I'm going to be giving away. But I do want to say that next Sunday is when I'm actually going to be doing the giveaway and announcing the winner. So just so you know, so you can watch that. And again, you will be entered if you share this video, subscribe to my YouTube, and subscribe to my Instagram at whatever forever 75, and then you will automatically be entered. It's free makeup, free hair care, free accessories. Like, come on, like it's simple. It's simple. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later. Enjoy. So today we're going to be talking about Anna Dirkskin, aka the Banat Witch of Romania, aka the one and only Baba Anjuk. Little is actually known about Baba Anjuk. She was born in 1838 Romania to a rich cattleman. She went to boarding school at a very young age to very rich and elite boarding schools with other rich and elite families. As rich and elite it could be in the 1800s Romania. So she became early on a mistro. Okay, let me see if I can pronounce this. Mistro and for basically she hated humans and she hated all of mankind. She was very secluded, very, you know, to herself. She made it very, very clear at a very early age that she did not like people. And I'm not just talking about, like, you know, sophomore year goth kid hate people. Like, I'm talking she hated humans. So, and she made that very clear at a young age. So she continued to live her life like that, and at the age of 20 she was actually seduced by a military man while he was passing through her village. She fell absolutely in love with this military man, even though, you know, she was a hater of humans. She loved him, and eventually they carried on an affair. However, a few years into their affair, this military man, which that should have told you something right there, no offense, this military man actually gave her syphilis, had multiple affairs, and then eventually left her brokenhearted for another woman. After this, after being left by this military man, she became obsessed with chemistry, with medicine, with herbology. You know, just she became just obsessed with like mixing things together and seeing what happened. So for years and years, she actually became, you know, a very well-known apothecary and in her village. Actually, what she became known for was her none other magic water. So this magic water sold for 2,400 dinars, or 2,400 dollars is what their dollar is called, a dinar. So in January 1924, this woman named Sana Morovich went to Baba Anjuk in order to retrieve some of this magic water. She wanted to be separated from her husband, but during this time there really was no divorce. And if you wanted a divorce, it was very expensive and you just had to know the right people. So that was not an option for this woman, unfortunately. So what she did was she went to Baba Anjuk and she procured some of this water. Stana gave her husband this magic water, and he died a few days later, seemingly from a flu, and it was very much untraceable. A few days later, she actually married a much richer man in the village, a man that she was like very obviously having an affair. How the husband didn't know that, I'm not sure. The sources are, not very clear on the matter. However, she gave her husband this water and he eventually passed away, seeming like the flu, like he had corona or something. Okay, so keep Astana in the back of your mind. Keep her like kind of right here. She's going to be important later on in the story. So next instance, so this was actually 1924 when Baba Andrew was 86 years old at this time. So in 1926, this man, Sima, and his wife, Sophia, actually went to see and was referred by Stana, the woman that I mentioned earlier, to Baba Anjuk in order to receive some of this magic water. Now, see, Sima and Sophia wanted to give this magic water to his father. His father was 70 years old, but he seemed to be abusive towards his entire family. Not only to, Sophia and Sima, also to his grandchildren. There were also suspicious of rumors of sexual assault, sexual abuse towards his family members as well. So they were desperate and they wanted to acquire some of this magic water from Baba Anju. So they were able to get their hands on some of this water by Baba Anju, and they actually gave the 70-year-old father some of this magic water. The way that they did that actually was they had their daughters. So this man, Nicola, is actually his name, his granddaughter. And they actually poured it into, okay, I need to stop saying actually. They poured it into some of his tea and they instructed the daughter to make sure he drank every single drop of it. Otherwise, just to make sure that it would work. I'm not sure about Nicola if he had any money. I don't know if that was the main motivation. I just know that Sima and his wife Sophia really wanted the dad because he was abusive. Allegedly abusive. He probably was though, like, let's be real. Not saying that justifies anything. However, so they ended up giving him this potion, and the granddaughter did as they said, put it in the tea. He drank every bit of that tea, and then he ended up falling ill. Again, it stimulated flu-like symptoms, so he, coughed, sneezed, fever, and because he was 70 years old, no one actually questioned what was going on with him. They just assumed that it was his old age, and falling ill from a common sickness will obviously kill anyone of that age. So he ended up passing away, and Baba Anjuk actually sold this particular magic water for $5,000. She was making her bank. Like, she was getting her bag. Like, let's be real, she was getting her bag. $5,000 for water. I mean, I guess for poison, but either way, I guess how much would you charge for something that's going to kill someone in a seemingly untraceable way? So of course, she was known as the witch in this village Because of her magic water, people knew her as being a witch. She was very secluded, very, hateful, vengeful towards women, towards people in general. Baba Anjuk, as a young woman, after the military man left her high and dry, she actually did go on and get married and have kids. But because of the syphilis, it was very hard for her to actually carry children. So she had 11 children. However, only one actually lived into adulthood. So that's very sad. And I'm not, like, again, not justifying anything, but just a very sad, like, thing to experience is, having your children die. She just had to suffer throughout all of these stillborns and child deaths and all of that. So it's horrible. Horrible. So again, a lot of talk around Baba Anjuk and her magic water and her just being a witch in general. It was never confirmed by her that she was a witch. It really was just her demeanor. It was her antisocial behavior, and it was, again, these claims of magic and magic water that gave her this title of, being a witch. And during that time, I'm surprised she wasn't, like, hung or something. Okay, so moving forward. There's a lot of talk around this. She was actually arrested previously for these allegations of selling poison water. Her first arrest and trial in 1914 was she was actually charged for providing poison for murderous intentions. However, she was acquitted. So then throughout her life, throughout her decades, she continued to sell this poison, obviously. But however, she was never actually caught in doing so. However, in 1928, at the age of 90, she was arrested for the same charge of selling poison with the intention of murdering someone. Like, can you have any other intention with poison besides murdering someone? I really don't think so, huh? So anywho, she was arrested and charged with only 2 murders: the murder of Stana, the first girl's husband, as well as Nicola, the old abusive man. So she was charged with both of those murders. Before the trial, the authorities actually exhumed the bodies of these 2 men, and they, did autopsies in order to prove that there was a poison that actually murdered them. So the trial began in June 1929, and the results of the autopsy actually did prove that they had toxins in their system and been poisoned by substances to stimulate flu-like symptoms and became almost untraceable. So, how does this connect to Baba Anjuk? Like, that could be anybody, right? Actually, Baba Anjuk, because of these rumors in the village, people always gotta open their mouth. Don't ever commit crimes with other people. All I'm saying. Because people will snitch on you. But more on that later. So actually, she was pointed to, and because she had this reputation of being the town witch, she was automatically assumed to have participation in these murders. Also because of her previous charge of poison. After these results came back of poison, they actually searched Baba Anjuk's place, and they found that the toxins they found in the men's body was similar, or was as an exact match to the samples that they actually found in Baba Anjuk's at home chemistry station. So she got sloppy then. They found she had left her samples of the things she used in order to make this magic water, and they were able to connect it with the autopsies done, is my long way of saying that. So she was put on trial for these murders, and Stana and Sophia, which is the two women that she helped with this magic water, or provided this magic water to, actually turned on this poor 80-year-old woman, claiming that they had no clue that this water would actually kill the husband. Stana actually said that she thought that the water wasn't poison, that it was just regular water, and what was actually going to kill her husband was the magic kind of powers that will be sent from Baba Anjuk to the water. So she just thought it was regular water, and then the magic from her was gonna kill the husband. Okay, Stano, okay. You want us to be with your side, boo, and you killed your husband. Now you're taking down this poor 90-year-old woman. Finally, and then she also said that she had a lot of stories. Stana said that she actually thought that the water was going to get her husband to leave her, not necessarily kill him. She had a lot of stories, and she tried to play innocent. She tried to play dumb. You know what I mean? Like, she tried to play dumb. So next, Sophia, or is it like Sophia, but the J is silent? I'm not sure. But anyway, Sophia and her husband, but her husband wasn't being charged with the actual murder, just Sophia. And unfortunately, the granddaughter that gave Nicola the poison was also being charged with his murder. Even though the little girl, the little minor, like, didn't know what she was doing. She was just... So anyways, let me not go there. Let me tell you guys, what happened, because I'm jumping ahead of myself. So Sophia said that she did not know that the magic water was going to kill her father-in-law. All she thought was that it was going to cure him of his alcoholism, but she didn't know that it was going to actually kill him. Like, okay, playing dumb, that's the vibe, huh? Playing dumb. Unfortunately, the granddaughter was also charged with murder, because she actually administered the poison to the grandfather. However, the granddaughter was... Hold on, let me pop this on real quick. Okay, so actually the granddaughter was a minor, obviously, at the time. So the prosecution asked for the death penalty for Baba Anjuk and the women, except for the granddaughter, because she was a minor at the time. So he still wanted her to go to jail and stuff, but he didn't want the death penalty. How nice. I also think it's messed up that the husband, Sophia's husband, Nicola's actual son, wasn't charged. Like, why? On January 1929, the verdict was delivered, and Baba Anjuk was charged with the 2 murders of these men, and she was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Eventually, Baba was released when she was 98 years old because of her age, so they didn't want to have her actually die in jail, so they released her, and she ended up passing away at the age of 100, 2 years after she was released from jail. The other women were also charged with 15 years of jail, and the granddaughter, the minor, was charged with 8 years in prison as well. So even though she was charged with both of these murders, she was again suspected to have killed upwards to 150 people, having this magic water dosed to over 150 people because of from her hands. So even though she didn't actually give them the poison, she did provide the means to murdering a bunch of people in the Romanian area. Baba Anjuk is the oldest serial killer in history. She was killing, even though she became notorious for her murders, and by the time she was 86 to 90 years old, she was said to actually start selling this magic water at a very young age, possibly since the beginning of her, obsession with medicine and chemistry and stuff like that. I also think it's so interesting that they released her for old age. Like, I don't think they do that in jail. I mean, in American jail. Like, American jail, they don't give a fuck. Like, you're having your baby in prison, you're dying in prison. But I guess this was Romania in 1900s, so they were a little more lenient. But yeah, to me, this is a fucking crazy story. And this story was actually recommended to me by a good friend of mine. She recommended me this story, and when I read about it, I was like, this is insane. Because this woman, she actually looks like a little like Mother Teresa. Like, she has the head wrap, and she's just all like, and she hates humans, which, don't really blame her. But she hated humans, and she created this device to kill so many people. And yes, there were some people that were murdered that weren't necessarily good people. It still doesn't give her the right to like kind of almost play God and give them this like means. But yeah, I just think that this was a crazy, weird story, and I didn't know about this. Obviously she's not as like, notorious as Ted Bundy or anything like that, but she was like kind of a bad bitch in like the worst way ever, but also like kind of cool because again, she was so undetected for decades, like decades. She was undetected. And so yeah, that is the story of Baba Anjuk and her serial killing, her mass murdering, with this magic water. So if you see a little old lady, no, she literally looked like the lady from in Snow White when the witch turns into the old lady with the apples. That was her. That literally looked like her. This is not a lot known, so this is why I think it's not as widely known as so many other like serial killer stories, but it's insane. It is insane. If you want to look this up and dig more into it, please let me know in the comments what you find. But yeah, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. And again, like I said earlier, the announcement for the giveaway winner is actually going to be on my next Sunday video. So it's going to be 1 week from today, and I will announce my winner for my giveaway. Thank you so much for everyone that has participated so far. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to, please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.